Hey guys! So today I want to talk about a man that I like to call Mr. Floor Seat. Um, I'm going to try to make it as clean as possible. And I want to preface this whole episode by saying that this isn't about me calling anybody out. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. And honestly, this isn't that kind of podcast anyway. I'm not that kind of person. But I just wanted to put that out there because I know that there's a lot of that, and some of it can sound snarky. But let's get into why I call him Mr. Floor Seat. So he's this guy that I've been seeing for a while, and things have been going really well. Honestly, he's a great guy. We've had some hiccups along the way. Hey guys, so I want to talk to you about a guy. Hey guys, it's India. Thanks for listening, first off. But today I'm going to talk about a guy that I like to call Mr. Floor Seat. And I just want to give a quick disclaimer and say that I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not trying to be nasty or petty. And I'm not bitter or anything. It's not that kind of podcast. It's not like a story time kind of deal, even though it kind of is. But anyway, let's get into it. So I've been seeing this guy for a while, and it's been going really well. But we've had like a handful of really weird interactions that kind of gave me the ick. And in one of them, what had happened was I hang out at his place a lot because I rent rooms out on Airbnb in my house, and he offered me to stay at his place when my house is like feeling too cramped. So I was in his house, and I'd been at his house every day for, maybe a week or so. And one of the days he decided that he was going to play a game with his friends. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, or with his friend. So I'm like, okay, I have some work to do. So I was just hanging out in his office doing my own thing. When I got bored, I decided to go hang out with them, maybe watch them play a little bit, see what was up. And when I got to the living room, I realized that there was literally no room for me in the space because his best friend was sitting in the spot on the couch where I normally sit. His cat was sitting in the center, and of course he was sitting in his seat. There was no other seat in sight, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll sit on the floor. I wasn't expecting much, realistically, but I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just sit on the floor. And then his friend noticed, so, obviously it's noticeable. I feel like you guys kind of see where this is going. But anyway, his friend noticed and was like, oh, there's a chair in the basement. Do you want to get that extra chair for her? And I was like, honestly, I'm good. It's fine. But it still kind of gave me the ick. And I didn't say anything at the time because I couldn't really put my finger on why it gave me the ick. Since realistically, I don't mind sitting on the floor. I honestly feel like it's really good for you to just sit on the floor sometimes and ground a little bit and, work on your posture. So again, I didn't mind, but it kind of gave me the ick. So I kept thinking about it. I was journaling, I was reflecting, I was talking to my girlfriend about it. And it finally occurred to me that I got the ick because I felt low-key offended that everybody had a seat except for me. And then my guy didn't even notice. He didn't, his friend said something before he did. So I'm like, okay, basically you don't care about me and you hate me, is obviously what happened, right? So, y'all. I just realized my microphone was on the other side of the room, but we're gonna keep rolling because I don't have time for all that. So, yeah, basically I was like, okay, obviously you don't love me and you hate me. But no, yeah, it just gave me the ick. And the more I thought about it, the more I started comparing him to previous relationships. My ex, my last relationship, the guy that I was seeing was hyper attentive and really attuned to me. honestly, needy. The man was needy, and I don't like needy. That's not my thing. I don't want a man to be hyper attuned to me. I just want a man to be there when and if I need him. I don't want him to be in my face all the time or up my butt. So realistically, I didn't necessarily want him to hop up and be like, "Oh, baby, let me get you a chair. Do you want to sit on my lap? I'll sit on the floor." Like, that's just too much. It's too much, especially since it's like, you know, his casa es mi casa. El casa es mi casa. El casa es mi casa. But yeah, so the real problem I figured out was the fact that he wasn't like perpetuating the relationship dynamic that I was used to, if that makes sense. Like, he wasn't doing the things that I had become accustomed to expecting from men, whether I liked them or not. Because I have dated a lot of guys that were really hyper attuned, and I kind of like just learned that that was the way that love was to be performed. And it was performative. Like, that's so weird to do in reality, because I'm 30 years old. I'm basically living at his place. If I really wanted to get a chair or if I wanted him to move, I would just say that. I genuinely didn't mind sitting on the floor. So, once I stopped being butthurt over him not doing something that I didn't even want him to do and that I never asked him to do, I realized that everything was actually fine. That was the big picture. Like, literally everything was fine. And I realized that what I like expect based on what I've experienced in the past isn't necessarily like an accurate depiction of the way I want to be loved. Just because my needy exes were doing all that extra stuff does not mean that that extra stuff is what love is. And it's not the only way to express love. It's not really the way that I want to be loved. So yes, that's what I learned. Yeah, I would say that I have met a lot of people that I think were lessons for me, but this time the lesson was like me learning more about me, if that makes sense. Like, he wasn't the lesson, I was the lesson, and he was like the catalyst. Like, he just happened to be there. So the next time you're upset about a partner not behaving a certain way, you should ask yourself, first off, do you even want them to behave that way? Or do you just expect it because that's what you're used to? Second, is there any reason that that person would like automatically assume or know that they're supposed to do that thing? Like, let's say that I like my men to buy me books instead of flowers. Okay, that's a bad one. But okay, flowers, for example. My sister loves flowers and she wants all of her men to give her flowers. Me, I don't like receiving cut flowers because they're just gonna die. Like, I would plant me some flowers. That's what I would prefer. Anyway, y'all. That's it. I mean, yeah, that's it.